All right, guys, day one is in the books here at Lake Norman. Obviously, I did not have the day that I wanted. I am sitting in, I don't know, 50 something, 56th place, I think. I had 9 pounds, 3 ounces. So typically 56th place finish after day one. It's not too bad. I'm about a pound out of a check and a couple pounds out of the top 10. But as y'all all know, number one goal, numero uno, would be make the elites. I fell from 8th place to 10th place. Now granted, I'm only a handful of points back from jumping right back into 6th, but that means I'm gonna have to make a really big move on day 2. To say I'm disappointed would be an absolute understatement. So if you watched my video yesterday, you saw me talk about trying to decide where I was going to start the tournament and try to give y'all some advice on how to pick the right place. So I want to talk about that a little bit. So today I made the decision to start on some keepers, or just fish in general, on a brush pile out deep. I pull up to the spot, nothing's happening. Now granted, I'm boat 45, so I'm out pretty early. And I'm like, okay, look at my live scope, I don't even see a bass. Like, the brush pile's void, around the brush pile's void. And so at that point, I'm like, okay, I gotta change things up. I gotta really adjust and change. And that's exactly what I did. I literally did not fish another brush pile there for a little while. I ran up shallow. And that's when I made a really, really, really good adjustment. So, and for what it's worth, I weighed 9 pounds, so like obviously it wasn't a great adjustment, but it was a good adjustment for what I was doing. I started out throwing a whopper plopper, and I'm not getting any bites. My coiler throws behind me on a shallow point with a worm and catches one. And it's a little one, it's like 12-incher, 13-incher. And I immediately lock into this zone as these fish aren't feeding on top. You know, water temps have dropped. Air temperature was like 50 something this morning. Stayed pretty cool most of the day. And so I pick up a chatterbait, namely a Strike King Thunder Cricket, and like literally cast it out there, and I catch the biggest bass of my day, which was about a 2 1/4 to 2.5 pounder. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's about to go down. Like, I finally figured out a way to catch them early, and I was wrong. I caught one more fish right after, like literally the very next cast I caught one. It was a 13.5-incher, and I didn't ever have another bite on the Thunder Cricket. I don't know if I just landed in that fish's mouth or what happened. I've got a game plan for tomorrow, but where I'm going with this is I made some very fast adjustments. I mean, I bet I only fished that deep spot for maybe 8 minutes, 9 minutes. I put my boat on plane to move to different locations about 40 times today. Now granted, some of you are going to sit there and say, man, like if you'd have just spent more time fishing and less time running, you'd have probably done better. And maybe you're right. I'm not going to say you're wrong in this situation. Maybe that's exactly what I should have done. I think of a few different situations where it would have panned out better. I feel like I would have probably caught more fish. I got in one area and I was skipping a jig on docks, and I caught like, I don't know, 5 or 6 fish real quick in there. It was like every other dock I caught a fish or had a bite. And some of them were non-keepers, some of them were keepers. And I just left. I didn't fish another dock in there. I think I fished like 8 docks and caught 5 fish. I don't know why I did that. I just did that. It was an area that I thought I could get some bites, but it wasn't like my primary area, or a spot that I would even consider my primary, you know, section of the lake. I just rolled in there because I had 1 or 2 little places in there I'd had a bite, and I got lucky and caught some. So that was today. You know, I kind of made some adjustments through the day. I caught a lot of fish on a jig, and typically when you get that many jig bites in a day, you're going to catch some big ones, and I did not. I caught 2 good ones, which, you know, worked out on the jig, and then I weighed in a 14-incher, which here a 14-incher is going to only weigh about 1.25 pounds, so it's not going to even weigh very much. So I left some weight on the table there. I had one big bite in the middle of a tree that just was a really unfortunate situation. I ended up losing said fish. I knew, so this particular area, I felt was like a 50-50 area. So what I mean by that is that it was a dock that had an absolute ton of standing brush underneath it, and I was flipping a jig in the middle of it. So like, it's basically flipping bushes, but like ×2. And I slackline hook set it for some unapparent reason. I saw my line just taking off, and I set the hook. I didn't tighten up on it, I just set the hook. I fought the fish for just like maybe 2 seconds. I mean, it felt like a good one, but when you're in the middle of a tree, everything feels like a good one, so who knows. Otherwise, I fished pretty clean today. I have no excuses. I just didn't catch them today. I probably turned right when I should have turned left, and wore my hat forwards when I should have worn it backwards. I don't know. I do believe that I do have something a little bit figured out first thing in the morning, so maybe I'll be able to catch a couple fish that way. And if you're watching this today, you're obviously, hopefully by now, I've already caught a couple of these fish. Overall though, not the day I wanted, but I'm not out of it. And I think that's the big thing that I need to hang on. Right now, I'm pretty down in the dumps. I'm gonna say I'm depressed, because I'm not depressed. I'm frustrated. I had a lot of expectations going in today, and more so just on myself. Nobody had expectations for me, but I had a lot of expectations. I had a lot of goals today, and I did not accomplish those goals. I had a really hard time catching largemouth today. I do want to give a big shout out to a couple people though. Matt Pangrack had 12 pounds today. Good job. He definitely caught them pretty good. He had a last second 3-6, I think. I think it was literally on his last cast, so that really helped him out considerably. I never had that bite, I don't think. And if I did, I might have missed it or lost it in that bush. But and then Blake Smith leading the tournament with 15 pounds. I mean, dude just straight smashed on him today. So hats off to Blake Smith. He's one day away from making the Elite Series, literally. So that's got to be extremely exciting for him. And hopefully I'll be celebrating the exact same success here in a few tournaments. And that's what it's going to take. I mean, I won't know tomorrow. I won't know next week or 2 weeks from now. I know in about a month. So I have a long ways to wait. But, you know, the thing about the Opens is you can't have a bad day. I wouldn't consider today a bad day. I'd consider today a mediocre day. Definitely have to do better than I did today, though. I know that for a fact. So we're going to go out there tomorrow, or today, technically. You're watching this, and you actually are watching the show. Yeah, we're going to catch them. I'm going to put my head down. I'm going to try to have some fun. I didn't have as much fun today. And, yeah, we're going to go try to catch some fish tomorrow. Today. Whatever. Y'all know what I'm saying. But, guys, I hope y'all have enjoyed this video. It's a little recap. I'm trying to change things up a little bit because the deal is I haven't posted as many tournament videos. And if I wait too long, I end up having to erase footage and shoot other footage because I'm shooting shows and other stuff. And so I figure I'm going to try it this way for a little while. If y'all like the way that I'm doing this, make sure y'all comment below and let me know. If y'all don't, just tell me that too, because that makes it easy for me and I won't do it again more. But I'm trying to make it easier for y'all and for myself. So, guys, I hope y'all have enjoyed this day one recap. You got to see a few fish catches. You got to see some things. And maybe tomorrow will be a better day. I'm optimistic, cautiously optimistic. But I've got to catch them one way or another. So, that's just where we're at. So, guys, I will catch y'all tomorrow night. And hopefully we have good news. So, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. And I'll see you on the next one.